Hello and welcome. Do you ever feel bloated, gassy, or just generally uncomfortable after eating a supposedly healthy meal packed with vegetables? Many seniors experience digestive changes as they age, and sometimes the very foods we think are best for us can be hidden culprits. Most of us believe that all vegetables are universally beneficial, especially as we get older. We're told to eat the rainbow for vitamins, minerals, and fiber. And while that's largely true, it's not the whole story. For seniors, how certain vegetables are prepared and consumed, and even which vegetables are chosen, can make a significant difference between feeling vibrant and feeling digestively distressed. In the world of healthy aging, understanding these nuances is crucial but often overlooked. Today, we're going to uncover 5 specific types of vegetables that seniors might need to approach with caution, limit, or modify for better digestion and sustained long-term health. These aren't necessarily bad foods, but they possess characteristics that can be challenging for a maturing digestive system. By the end of this video, you'll understand why these vegetables can sometimes cause issues, and more importantly, you'll learn practical tips and simple adjustments you can make. The good news is, once you know what to look out for, you can take proactive steps to enjoy a varied diet comfortably. This isn't just guesswork. These insights are based on common nutritional science principles and an understanding of digestive changes associated with aging. So, stay with me through all 5 points, because the last one involves some incredibly popular health foods that might surprise you, and understanding it could be key to your daily comfort. Alright, let's get started with the first vegetable group that might need a second look. Point 1. The cruciferous broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. Our first category includes some nutritional powerhouses. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. These vegetables are lauded for their anti-cancer properties and high vitamin content like vitamin C and K. However, they are also notorious for causing gas and bloating. Why? They contain a complex sugar called raffinose. Humans lack the enzyme alpha-galactosidase needed to break down raffinose properly in the small intestine. So, it travels undigested to the large intestine, where gut bacteria ferment it. This fermentation process produces gas hydrogen, methane, carbon dioxide, leading to bloating, flatulence, and sometimes abdominal discomfort. As we age, digestive enzyme production can decrease, and gut motility might slow down, making seniors potentially more susceptible to these effects. The high fiber content, while generally beneficial, can also contribute to gas if intake is increased too rapidly or if the digestive system is already sensitive. Think of Mrs. Peterson. She loves steamed broccoli with her salmon, believing it's the epitome of a healthy meal. Yet, almost every time, she spends the evening feeling uncomfortably bloated, like she has a little balloon inflating inside her. It's not that the broccoli is bad. It's just that her digestive system struggles with that specific type of sugar, raffinose. It's like giving your gut bacteria a task they enjoy fermentation, but which has noisy and uncomfortable side effects for you, the host. It's a tiny fermentation factory working overtime on a specific fuel source it finds difficult to process efficiently upstream. Does this mean avoiding these nutrient-dense vegetables entirely? Not necessarily. Cook them thoroughly. Cooking helps break down some of the complex sugars and fibers, making them easier to digest. Steaming until tender or roasting is often better tolerated than eating them raw or lightly blanched. Start small. Introduce them gradually or eat smaller portions to see how your body reacts. Chew well. Digestion starts in the mouth. Chewing thoroughly breaks down food particles and mixes them with saliva enzymes. Consider digestive enzymes. Some over-the-counter products containing alpha-galactosidase like Beano can help break down raffinose before it reaches the large intestine, but consult your doctor first. Try variations. Sometimes, certain types are better tolerated than others, e.g., maybe well-cooked cauliflower is fine, but Brussels sprouts are problematic. Understanding the raffinose factor in cruciferous vegetables empowers you to manage potential discomfort. You can still reap their benefits by choosing appropriate preparation methods and portion sizes that work with your digestive system, not against it. Point 2. Raw onions and garlic. Next up, let's talk about two flavor staples found in countless dishes: raw onions and garlic. While cooked onions and garlic add wonderful flavor and offer health benefits like allicin and garlic, their raw forms can be particularly troublesome for seniors with sensitive digestive systems. The main culprits here are fructans. Fructans are a type of FODMAP, fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols, short-chain carbohydrates that are poorly absorbed in the small intestine. Similar to raffinose, they travel to the large intestine, where gut bacteria rapidly ferment them. This fermentation draws water into the bowel and produces gas, leading to symptoms like bloating, gas, abdominal pain, cramping, and sometimes diarrhea or constipation, especially in individuals with irritable bowel syndrome (IBS) or general FODMAP sensitivity, which can become more apparent with age. Raw onions and garlic contain higher concentrations of these potent fructans compared to their cooked counterparts. Consider Mr. David, who loves adding crisp, raw red onion slices to his lunchtime salads for that extra zing. He often finds himself dealing with uncomfortable gas and a rumbly stomach in the afternoon, blaming it on eating too fast. However, the real trigger might be the concentrated fructans in those raw onion slices hitting his sensitive gut. Cooking those same onions in his dinner stew, however, causes him no issues. It's like the difference between encountering a tightly coiled spring raw fructans versus a gently released one-cooked fructans. The impact on a sensitive system is vastly different. If you suspect raw onions or garlic are causing issues, cook them well. Cooking significantly breaks down fructans, making them much easier to tolerate. Sautéing, roasting, or simmering onions and garlic thoroughly is key. Use infused oils for garlic flavor without the fructans, which are water-soluble, not oil-soluble. Saute garlic cloves in oil. Then remove the cloves before using the flavored oil in your cooking. Try milder alternatives. The green tops of spring onions, scallions, or chives are lower in fructans and often better tolerated for adding a mild oniony flavor. Limit raw intake. If you love the taste, try using very small amounts of raw onion or garlic and see how you feel. Maybe just a tiny sprinkle of finely minced chives instead of a thick slice of raw onion. Identifying raw onions and garlic as potential triggers allows you to enjoy flavorful food without the subsequent digestive distress. Simple cooking techniques can transform these common ingredients from potential irritants into easily digestible flavor enhancers. If you've ever suspected onions or garlic bother your digestion, type onion or garlic in the comments below. Let me know if cooking them makes a difference for you. Point 3. Corn, especially whole kernels. Vegetable number 3 might surprise some, as it's often seen as a healthy whole grain or starchy vegetable. Corn. Corn, especially eaten as whole kernels like corn on the cob or loose kernels in salads or succotash, presents a unique digestive challenge primarily due to its cellulose content. Cellulose is a type of insoluble fiber that forms the outer shell of the kernel. Humans cannot digest cellulose. We lack the necessary enzyme cellulase. While insoluble fiber is important for bulking stool and promoting regularity, the intact cellulose structure of corn kernels means they often pass through the digestive system largely unchanged, if not chewed extremely well. This can lead to seeing undigested kernels in the stool, and for some seniors, it can contribute to feelings of indigestion, gas, or discomfort. Additionally, corn is relatively high in carbohydrates and natural sugars compared to non-starchy vegetables, which might be a consideration for seniors managing blood sugar levels. Difficulty chewing, common with dental issues or dentures, can exacerbate the problem, as kernels aren't mechanically broken down sufficiently before swallowing. It's the classic example: you eat corn on the cob, and later you might notice those familiar yellow kernels reappearing, looking almost exactly as they did when they went in. It's a direct visual reminder that your body couldn't break down that tough outer layer. Imagine trying to get the goodness inside a tiny, tough safe without the key, the enzyme, or the tool's thorough chewing to open it. The valuable contents might pass right through, and the effort of trying to process the indigestible container can cause some systemic commotion. For someone like George, who wears dentures and finds vigorous chewing difficult, a bowl of whole kernel corn might lead to an afternoon of feeling stuffed and uncomfortable. How can seniors enjoy corn more comfortably? Chew, chew, chew. If eating whole kernels, make a conscious effort to chew each mouthful extremely thoroughly to break down the outer layer mechanically. Opt for processed forms. Creamed corn, corn grits, polenta, or corn flour products are generally much easier to digest because the cellulose structure has already been broken down during processing. Moderation is key, especially if you have blood sugar concerns. Be mindful of portion sizes. Treat corn more like a starch than a low-carb vegetable. Listen to your body. If whole kernel corn consistently causes discomfort despite chewing well, it might be best to favor the processed forms or limit intake significantly. Corn can still be part of a healthy diet for seniors. Understanding the role of cellulose and the importance of chewing or choosing processed forms allows you to enjoy its sweetness and fiber benefits without the potential digestive drawbacks. Point 4. Nightshades, tomatoes, peppers, eggplant for sensitive individuals. Our fourth category involves a group of vegetables that are dietary staples worldwide, but can be problematic for some individuals. The nightshade family, including tomatoes, peppers, bell peppers, and chili peppers, eggplant, and potatoes, though often considered separately. This is a somewhat controversial area, but important to mention for seniors dealing with certain conditions. Nightshades contain natural compounds called alkaloids like solanine in potatoes and eggplant, tomatine in tomatoes, and capsaicin in peppers and lectins. For the majority of people, these compounds are harmless and consumed without issue. However, a subset of the population, particularly those with inflammatory conditions like arthritis, autoimmune diseases, or bowel conditions like leaky gut, report that consuming nightshades seems to exacerbate their symptoms, typically increase joint pain, stiffness, or inflammation. The scientific evidence linking nightshades directly to inflammation in all people is limited and debated, but anecdotal reports are common. Additionally, tomatoes and tomato products are quite acidic, which can trigger heartburn or acid reflux, a common complaint among older adults. Let's consider Sarah, who has osteoarthritis in her hands. She notices that after enjoying a hearty eggplant parmesan or a spicy dish with lots of chili peppers, her fingers feel noticeably stiffer and more painful the next day. When she avoids nightshades for a week, she feels a slight improvement. It's not a dramatic allergy, but a subtle sensitivity that seems to aggravate her underlying condition. For her, it's like adding a tiny bit of fuel to an already smoldering fire of inflammation. It doesn't cause the fire, but it seems to make it flicker a bit brighter. This is highly individual. Listen to your body. If you have unexplained joint pain, inflammation, or digestive issues, and you consume nightshades regularly, you might consider an elimination trial. Remove all nightshades from your diet for 2 to 4 weeks, under the guidance of a doctor or dietitian, and carefully observe your symptoms. Then reintroduce them one by one to see if they trigger a reaction. Cook thoroughly. Cooking helps to reduce the levels of alkaloids and lectins in nightshades. Peel and deseed. These compounds are often concentrated in the skin and seeds, so peeling potatoes, tomatoes, and eggplants and removing seeds from peppers might help some individuals. Manage acidity. If tomatoes cause heartburn, try eating them in moderation, pairing them with less acidic foods, avoiding them close to bedtime, or using low-acid varieties. Antacids may offer temporary relief, but addressing the dietary trigger is better long-term. Don't assume. Don't avoid these nutritious foods unless you have reason to suspect they personally cause you problems. Understanding the potential, not definite link between nightshades and inflammation for sensitive individuals allows for personalized dietary adjustments. It emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and listening to your body's unique signals, rather than following a one-size-fits-all approach. Have you ever noticed a connection between nightshades and how you feel? Share your experience or skepticism in the comments. It's a fascinating topic. And if you're finding this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Point 5. Large quantities of raw, tough leafy greens, e.g. kale, spinach. Finally, our fifth point focuses on something universally hailed as healthy, but where quantity and preparation matter immensely for seniors. Large amounts of raw, tough leafy greens, particularly things like kale or mature spinach. Leafy greens are fantastic sources of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. However, consuming large quantities of them raw, especially tougher greens like kale, can be hard on an older adult's digestive system. Why? High fiber load. Raw greens contain significant amounts of insoluble fiber. While beneficial in moderation, a sudden large intake like in a giant raw kale salad or a packed green smoothie can overwhelm the digestive system, leading to gas, bloating, and discomfort. The fibrous structure requires extensive chewing, which can be difficult for seniors. Oxalates. Some greens, notably spinach and Swiss chard and kale to a lesser extent, are high in oxalates. In susceptible individuals, high oxalate intake can contribute to the formation of calcium oxalate kidney stones. Vitamin K content. Leafy greens are rich in vitamin K, which plays a crucial role in blood clotting. For seniors taking blood-thinning medication like warfarin Coumadin, sudden large increases or fluctuations in vitamin K intake can interfere with the medication's effectiveness. It's not about avoiding vitamin K, but maintaining a consistent intake. Imagine Richard, who recently started adding 2 huge handfuls of raw kale to his morning smoothie, hoping to boost his health. Instead of feeling energized, he often feels gassy and bloated mid-morning. It's like trying to push a large, bulky, unprocessed bundle through a sensitive pipeline. It creates a bottleneck and causes backups. Gently cooking that kale first, however, would be like pre-processing the bundle, making it smaller and smoother, allowing it to pass through easily. Similarly, someone on warfarin suddenly deciding to eat large spinach salads daily after previously eating few greens could unknowingly destabilize their medication levels. Enjoy leafy greens wisely. Cook them, gently steaming, sauteing, or wilting greens like kale, spinach, and chard breaks down the tough cell walls and fibers, making them much easier to digest and reducing oxalate content. Start small with raw. If you enjoy raw salads, use tender greens like butter lettuce or baby spinach, or introduce tougher greens like kale in smaller amounts, chopped finely, and perhaps massaged with dressing to soften them. Blend thoroughly. If using raw greens in smoothies, ensure they are blended extremely well to break down the fibers mechanically. Consistency with vitamin K. If you're on warfarin, discuss your leafy green intake with your doctor. The goal is usually consistency, not elimination. Don't suddenly start or stop eating large amounts. Moderate high oxalate greens if prone to kidney stones. If you have a history of calcium oxalate stones, Talk to your doctor about managing your intake of high oxalate foods like spinach. Cooking helps reduce oxalate levels. Leafy greens are incredibly healthy, but optimizing their benefits as a senior involves smart preparation and portion awareness. Cooking tough greens, managing raw intake, and being mindful of vitamin K and oxalates if relevant to you ensures you get the nutrients without the digestive or medical complications. So there you have it, 5 types of vegetables that, while nutritious, might require some extra thought and careful preparation for seniors aiming for optimal digestion and long-term health. We've discussed cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower and their gas-producing potential, raw onions and garlic with their tricky fructans, corn and its indigestible cellulose, nightshades like tomatoes and peppers for those with specific sensitivities, and the importance of managing intake and preparation of raw, tough leafy greens like kale. The core message here isn't to fear these foods or drastically restrict your diet. Far from it, it's about empowerment through understanding. Recognizing that our digestive capabilities can change with age, and knowing why certain healthy foods might cause discomfort, allows us to make informed choices. It's not just about what we eat, but how we prepare it, how much we eat, and how attuned we are to our own body's signals. The wonderful thing is, these sensitivities aren't necessarily fixed. You have the power to adapt. Simple changes like cooking vegetables thoroughly, starting with smaller portions, chewing well, or trying different preparation methods can make a world of difference. It's never too late to fine-tune your diet for better comfort and well-being. Listen to your body. It often tells you what it needs. So, I encourage you to reflect. Which of these vegetable groups, if any, have you suspected might be causing you issues? And what's one small adjustment you could try this week based on what we've discussed? Maybe it's roasting your broccoli instead of steaming it, or sauteing those onions for your salad dressing instead of adding them raw. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you found this information helpful and empowering. If you did, please give this video a like. It really helps the channel reach more people who might benefit. Share it with any friends or family members who might find it useful. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos on healthy aging and well-being. Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, experiences, or which tip you found most surprising. I love reading your comments and learning from you too. Thanks again for your time and support. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.